What are the hidden costs of a Royal Caribbean cruise?
Let's talk about it.
We've been getting a lot of comments from our subscribers and followers on social media recently saying that they thought cruise lines were more of an all-inclusive vacation.
Yeah.
And in reality, that's not really the case. The cruise line business model is set up in a way where a lot of the things that you might want to do aboard a ship are an upcharge on top of your original cruise fare. So what we're going to do in this video today is talk about what are the hidden costs specifically for a Royal Caribbean cruise, because that's where most of our cruise experience lies. But this does apply to most of the other major cruise lines like Norwegian and Carnival because they all have a similar pricing model.
So before we get into some of those hidden costs, let's talk about some of the things that are included in the cost of your sailing. And the first thing is going to be your ship accommodations. This is going to be basically what decides the price of your cruise, is what room you choose. Are you getting an interior room? Are you getting an interior with a virtual balcony, an ocean view room, an ocean view balcony, a suite of some sort? That's gonna set the price for your cruise.
So included in that price that you pay for your stateroom, most of your meals aboard the ship will be included in that price. Now, aboard Royal Caribbean, that'll be inclusive of breakfast, lunch, and dinner in the main dining room, as well as breakfast, lunch, and dinner in the Windjammer Cafe, which is the buffet. Now, depending on the class of ship that you're sailing on with Royal Caribbean, there are some other complimentary venues on board the ship. So if we take the Oasis class ships, for example, the Park Cafe in Central Park, all of that food is complimentary. The Cafe Promenade and the Royal Promenade will be included. If you shift over to the Quantum class ships, the Cafe at 270 at the back of the ship, that is a complimentary venue. And then the Solarium Bistro on the Quantum class ships, that is a complimentary dining venue as well. And some other complimentary venues, you'll see the Dog House, which is a hot dog stand aboard some of the Royal Caribbean ships. And I believe all of the ships in the fleet, if not most of them, have Sorrentos on board, which is complimentary pizza.
Now, in addition to those meals that are included, you will have some beverages included in the cost of your cruise. Things like tap water, milk, tea, drip coffee, lemonade, flavored waters, juices at breakfast, not of the fresh squeezed variety, and hot chocolate via instant packets. Anything else that you'll want to drink will be an upcharge, and we'll get to that in a little bit.
Next, most of your entertainment and activities on board will be included. Now, depending on the class of ship, these activities will vary, but across the fleet, you'll see things such as Broadway-style shows, you'll see original Royal Caribbean productions, you'll see ice skating shows, stand-up comedians, guest entertainers, shows in the Aqua Theater. And for activities, things that are included are your pools and your hot tubs, water slides and dry slides, fitness centers, the Aqua Park, surf simulators, the rock climbing wall, ice skating, laser tag, zip lining, mini golf, pickleball and basketball, fencing and archery, bumper cars, carousel rides, karaoke, roller skating, and supervised youth programs and hosted teen programs. Again, all of these activities will be depending on the type of ship that you're sailing on, but that's just an example of what's available across the fleet.
Now, if you are staying in a suite aboard a Royal Caribbean cruise, you'll have some additional amenities and perks included in the cost of your sailing. Things like a Royal Caribbean bathrobe for onboard use, luxury bathroom amenities, priority boarding and departure, concierge service, reserved seating in the theater, and more. If you are interested in sailing with Royal Caribbean, I did want to mention that I am a travel agent and it is completely free to work with a travel agent. So if you're interested in having someone price things out and kind of help you budget for some of these hidden costs, definitely send me an email. I will put my email address in the video description below.
Now, before we get into these hidden costs of a Royal Caribbean cruise, when it comes to budgeting, one thing that we found from our experiences is that if you do like to do some of these incrementals, be it dining packages and excursions and getting the Wi-Fi and deluxe beverage packages, from our experience, we found that it will about double what the cost of your cruise fare is. Now, that's not a specific calculation. That doesn't apply to apply every vacation and every family. We're just speaking from our experience in how we've budgeted past cruises. Now let's get into these hidden costs of a Royal Caribbean cruise, starting with specialty dining. Now if you want to eat at places like Chops Grill, Izumi, 150 Central Park, these will be an incremental cost to your cruise. Royal Caribbean does offer dining packages, typically a 3-night and an unlimited dining package, or if you just want to eat at one of these specialty restaurants, you can pay just for that meal. And if the ship has the Johnny Rockets on board, that'll be an extra charge as well. Now, once you identify the ship that you're going on and what your sailing is, then you can determine what's included and what's extra when it comes to dining.
Next, things like alcoholic beverages and non-alcoholic beverages such as soda, specialty coffees are all going to be an upcharge. But Royal does offer several packages to help it feel a little bit more like an all-inclusive vacation. They have the classic soda package, the refreshment package, and the deluxe beverage package, which is the only package that includes cocktails, spirits, wine, and beer, etc. Starbucks will always be an extra charge regardless if you purchase any of the beverage packages, in addition to specialty coffees being an upcharge at places like Cafe Promenade.
Next are shore excursions. It's the opportunity to get off the ship and enjoy the ports that you stop in. I would say on average that we've spent about $100 to $150 per person for a shore excursion. However, this very much depends on the type of cruise that you're on. When we went on our Alaska cruise, for example, those shore excursions are notoriously more expensive. We have a number of videos out in the channel right now that go into detail of the various shore excursions that we did on our Alaska sailing. So we'll link all of those in the video description below.
Another hidden charge of a Royal Caribbean cruise are the daily gratuities. A lot of people may not realize when they are booking a cruise that they are agreeing to these daily gratuities. So every day that you're on a cruise, $18 per person per day will be added to your folio. If you are staying in a suite, that cost will be $20.50 per guest, at least at the time of recording this video. Now, if you want this to feel a little more all-inclusive, you can prepay those gratuities before your cruise, so you're not racking up a high tab while on board.
Now, if this video has been helpful so far, please consider liking and subscribing. We have a lot of other Royal Caribbean videos out on the channel right now. We just talked about some of our Alaska videos. That's a whole series of videos that's out in the channel. We also went on the inaugural sailing of Icon of the Seas earlier this year. So if you want a review and some tips for going on the largest cruise ship in the world, those videos are out on the channel as well. And then we are going on our first celebrity cruise sailing next year. Celebrity Cruise is a sister company of Royal Caribbean. We're going to Norway on the Celebrity Apex. So subscribe so you don't miss all of those videos coming to the channel soon.
Up next, salon and spa services will also be an additional cost. This is always going to be extra regardless of what cruise line you go on. So if you want to get your nails done, get a haircut or a blowout, get a massage or a facial, anything like that, it's gonna be extra.
Any professional photographs taken on board the ship are also not included. Royal Caribbean always has photographers roaming aboard the ship, available to take photos of you in the pool, on formal night, just around the ship in general. So if you want to purchase any individual photographs or any photo packages, those will be an additional cost.
Another hidden cost for Royal Caribbean is going to be internet access. Now, some cruise lines may include Wi-Fi in the cost of a sailing, such as Virgin Voyages, which kind of revolutionized some of the cruise line standards. But Royal Caribbean, like many cruise lines, will upcharge people for Wi-Fi. Now, when we sail, we each pay to have one device. You do pay per device and per person. We both like to have our cell phones hooked up to Wi-Fi like most people, so you can share photos and videos from your vacation, but that is something that you're gonna have to factor into your budget.
Transfers to and from the airport are also not included in the cost of your sailing. Unless you purchase Royal's Air and Sea package, which includes airport transfers, you will need to pay for your car share or your limo or your taxi to and from your hotel or the airport before and after your cruise.
Things like laundry and dry cleaning services will also be an upcharge and will depend on the number of items that you are sending out for the service and which service you're selecting. We have done laundry on a couple of sailings, especially those longer ones or ones where we've traveled before and after, and they usually charge per item for things like laundry services. But toward the end of the sailing, Royal usually offers a special where It'll be a flat fee for whatever you can fit inside the laundry bag, and we usually take advantage of that.
Now lastly, there are some miscellaneous things that are not included in the cost of your sailing, such as gambling, including bingo on board the ship, any auctions, anything you purchase in the gift shop, such as souvenirs, any medical services on board, ship-to-shore telephone calls, and the video arcade will also be an extra charge on top of your original cruise fare. Like we said at the top of the video, the cruise line business model is a very complicated and interesting one. So hopefully this video is helpful when it comes to helping you plan for and budget for your next Royal Caribbean or Carnival or Norwegian Cruise Line vacation. But that is everything we have for you today. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and follow us on social media at A Couple Travelers.
And until next time, keep traveling.